Please stand.
Oh, doesn't she look lovely?
And then back to safety over Offa's Dyke. So a very warm welcome to everyone. Croeso Cynnes I Bawb. This part of Wales means a lot to Eleanor. Anticipating slightly different weather, so I don't think anybody has gone deaf. We accept the world for what it is. This is our only life, and it is up to us to make the best of it. It is a humanist belief that it is especially important for the principle of equality between man and woman to be recognised in the marriage relationship. So, marriage is a commitment between two people freely entered into, an agreement to do your best by each other. Marriage, if it is to be fulfilling and enduring for both partners, must be a cooperative venture. So, this marriage isn't an end, it is the culmination of a process of preparation. It is not a beginning, but it is an important step along a path which continues into the future. Nothing can be seen as certain in that future, but the step forward is being taken as possible. I will be your friend, companion and lover throughout my life.
Am I loud and clear, or am I breaking up? Am I still your charm, or am I just bad luck? Are we getting closer, or are we just getting more lost? I'll tell you mine if you show me yours first. We'll compare scars, I'll tell you whose is worse. Let's unwrite the pages and replace them with our own words. We live on front porches and swing life away. We get by just fine here on minimum wage. If love is a labor, I'll slave till the end. I won't cross these streets until you hold my hand. I've been here so long, think that it's time to move. Winter's so cold, summer's over too soon. Let's pack our bags and settle down where palm trees grow. But I've got some friends, some that I hardly know, and we've had some times I wouldn't change for the world. We chase these days down with talk of places that we will go. We live on front porches and swing life away. We get by just fine here on minimum wage. If love is a labor, I'll slave till the end. I won't cross these streets until you hold my hand. Till you hold my hand. I'll show you mine if you show me yours first. We'll compare scars, I'll show you whose is worse. Let's unwrite the pages and replace them with our own words. Let's sweep life on porches and swing life away. We get by just fine here on minimum wage. If love is a labor, I'll slave till the end. I won't cross these streets until you hold my hand. Swing life away, swing life away, swing life away.
Living things throughout time. These rings are a symbol of organic growth, of the precious and uniqueness of life. They symbolize a relationship which will grow. Eleanor's friend Rose, who couldn't be here today, sent a description of love to her old friend, and an extract from this description is quite fitting. Love is a temporary madness. It erupts like okay. You over here? Sorry. That's all right. Love is a temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision. You have to work out whether your roots have so entwined that it is inconceivable that you should ever be apart. Love itself is what's left over when being in love has burnt away. Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other underground. And when all the pretty blossoms have fallen from their branches, they find that they are now one tree and not two. Craig, will you please repeat after me? Eleanor, I place this ring on your finger as a symbol of my love for you and of our marriage. Wear it always, and know that we are forever connected by our ever-growing love. Eleanor, will you please repeat? Craig. Oh, you're going to do it now. Craig, I place this ring on your finger as a symbol of my love for you and of our marriage. Wear it always, and know that we are forever connected by our ever-growing love. Right, we're going to have another reading.
Got acros. Chatting away, blah blah. That can.
Ponytail back business. He's missed the best bit. I see God, oh no, he's gonna
Oh, that's lovely. And I've got a film of these too.
Hello, everybody hear me?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, I've not really got a speech to read out, I've just got a whole load of keywords and I'm going to do my best with them. I'm going to start off by talking about Eleanor. Eleanor's early life, centred around our home, first in Eton Crescent, then in Aylesbury Road, around our family, the Griffiths family, my sisters, Margaret, Non and Anne, and too many cousins to mention. Although some of them will get a mention probably later on. That was in Swansea. But also, from a really quite an early age, we were going back and forth to Scotland. We were going up to Scotland for New Year and for summer holidays and what have you. And there she met the wider Shields family. When I say wider Shields family, nothing physical. Check this out. But Fran's one of 9. And each one of those 9, male and female, they've all got kids. Yeah. So there's, I think it's, at last count, Nana and Pop had 19 grandchildren. Nana's still got, I think it's at least 19. Yeah. And now a whole bevy of great-grandchildren as well. Yeah. But when Eleanor was growing up, they weren't all there. It was just the grandchildren were kind of arriving. And those were the people she mixed with in Scotland, and that was very, very sort of formative to her as well. And of course the other place, the third place, which had always been important to me, important to my sisters and my mum and dad, and became important to Eleanor and to John, was Dinas, where we went back and forth again from an early age. And there, in particular, we met with Gaynor and we met with Mike, and it was, well, it was just great. It was just the land of summer, basically. Anyway, what can I say about Eleanor at that age? What we knew about her was that she was very pretty. There yes. Now, very, very pretty.
Yes.
And in school she made, and she kept friends very easily and was very easy with them, and they were easy with her. And it just seemed to be just a nice thing, you know, that it didn't seem an effort for her. And we found that she was outgoing. But then a couple of things happened to make us realise there were other things, other aspects to Eleanor's character as well. And the first one was that way back, when Eleanor was about 5 or 6, I went all the way to Scotland, where I met with Eleanor's Uncle David, and he helped me buy a car. And I think Danny was involved somewhere along the line as well. But he helped me buy a car, and we got a very nice little Fiat Uno. You don't know where this is going. I know. I never knew where the car was going. We'll come to that. But anyway, we got a very nice little car, and in the back of the car would sit Eleanor, Rolo the dog, and her lovely brother John. And Eleanor was, let's say, 5 and John was 3.5, because that's the difference between them. And I had the car, and about 9 months later I had to swap it for another car. I went out and I had to pay all the extra money for a brand new car, and the reason was simple. The Fiat Uno was a very narrow car. 2 kids in, one there, and in the middle the dog. They could reach across, and they could fight. And John was young enough that we had to forgive his boisterousness, and he's managed to remain young enough that we have to forgive his boisterousness ever since. Quite a remarkable trick. But what we learned about Eleanor was that she was spirited. And although she was always trying to be outweighed by this great boisterous boy, she would fight back and give as good as she got. Which is great, except when you're driving the car and you're having a piece of the road. So I had to get a bigger car where Rolo could lie comfortably between the two, and their arms wouldn't quite reach. So that's the first story that we discovered how spirited she was. The next story, about a year and a half later, it was, Fran said, Eleanor's busy doing something, I don't know what it is, she's got lots of paper, she got felt pens, she's been working at it for ages. And she worked away and away and away, and I didn't look, and Fran, I think, probably had the odd peep. But anyway, then we got what was basically a children's book, and it was called Where's the Liquid? Spelled, there's no fault of Fran's because she went, Eleanor's because she went to the Welsh Junior School, but spelled phonetically, so where's, W-E-S, yes, the, which she did get right, she must have seen that in other books, T-H-E, and the liquid, L-I-C-W-E-D, which is a grand Welsh spelling of the liquid. So there was this book, Where's the Liquid? And it starts off, and it's got these two characters in it, Fran and Di, and I don't know who they're based on. But it said, Fran was in the kitchen putting something in the machine. I'm not sure it specified what, but putting something in the machine, and she couldn't find the liquid. So she shouts out, where's the liquid? And then the next thing is, Di was in the front room with the paper, and there's a shot of me with there's a cartoon drawing of me, an inimitable 6-year-old style, me with the paper, and it's just a pair of hands, and just a bald head on its and Di carried on reading the paper. Next cartoon, next page, then back to Fran, where's the liquid? And then I think she thought, oh, I've got to carry on with the story a little bit more. So she said, and then the lights all failed. I have no idea why that, but all the lights all failed. Then Di got up, and he went through, and he found the liquid, and then the lights got put back on, and the machine started up, and everybody was happy. Last picture, Di and Fran, me, we're complete with bald head, a little moustache, and Fran slightly smaller than me. and the two children, and the dog, and the cat. Perfect family life. Well, what I took from that was, first of all, that Fran was, why do I keep saying Fran? That Eleanor was very, come on, stop it. Then Eleanor was very creative, you know. So we knew she was spirited, now we knew she was creative and very perceptive, because to be honest, she nailed me then. That was I haven't changed since, and I'm not sure that Fran has changed all that. There is still a deal of shouting and a deal of ignoring goes on. And that's done ever since. Anyway, moving out into the bigger world, at that time Eleanor went to Ysgol Gymraeg Bryn Mawr, where she learned all her spelling and how to spell liquid in other words. And she made good friends there. There are two friends here tonight, at least two, Sally and Liz, who were at Ysgol Gymraeg Bryn Mawr anymore? No. And then she went on to Ysgol Gyfun Gŵyl, which is a Welsh language comprehensive school in Swansea, where she met a great deal more friends, but she stayed with Sally and Liz, and she also met up with Jess. And then from there, we'll gloss over the teenage years because you have to a little bit. She went on from there to Gysainen Sixth Form College, and did at first a set of arts A levels, and it didn't really work out because there was too much going on in Eleanor's head and that kind of teenage kind of thing. But there we are. She came away from there, and she came back and came home and found work basically. Worked in Debenhams as a merchandiser, and had another couple of jobs as well. And then one day, I don't know quite why, but she took it into her head she'd go back to college and she'd do science. I still don't know why. But she went back, and she persuaded them to take her back, and I think they were slightly kind of, I don't know quite how you did it, because you said to me afterwards, yeah, said about reception, but she got back in, and she went ahead and she worked really hard for the next year, and her, and in particular her friend Neil, worked incredibly hard at the science, because I don't think either of them had a kind of natural aptitude for it, but it was like, right, we're going to do this, and we're going to actually show them all. And they did. She got really good results in that, and that was going okay. Then just as it had gone down a little bit with the first set of A-levels, it went down again, and this time it was, well, just force of nature, basically. I was ill, and I took the kind of attitude of I must force both my children off into college so that they're kind of set up, because I'm not very well, don't know how long I'll take to recover. And John went off to Dartington College, and Eleanor, who of course through this kind of process of going off and doing A-levels twice and what have you, was roughly at the same stage as they went off to Cardiff, and didn't quite work out, frankly. But you know, there we are, we learn these things, it's like a life lesson. What she did do though, was stayed on in Cardiff, and in particular in the house with Liz. Where's Liz? And Nina. No, not Nina, no, it was, who was your friend who was in that house there? She's not here, is she? Nat. Nat and Wade the Bunting. I knew there was a connection. So she was there in this house, and she put herself back together, basically. It hadn't been a great experience at Cardiff University, not the university's fault, not Ellen's fault, not my fault really, or anybody else, it just forced a circumstance. But she put herself back together, went and found jobs, took a job, did well, and again, these things happen, particularly to young people now. He's lost that job, and I said, what are you going to do now? But she rang me up that day, instead of lost my job, I said, what are you going to do now? She said, oh, I've been ringing round, I got myself another job, I start on Monday. And I'm getting compensation because they shouldn't have pushed me out this other job. And she got the money and she got the other job, and on she went, and I thought, this is great. She's in the world of work, she knows what it's about, she will stand up for herself, and she's going forward. And that's what she's done. Somewhere around then, I'm sure there'll be more detail later on, is where she met Craig. And together, I think, you know, it's gone really well ever since, because I think Craig got a little bit of me in him, I think. Nothing to do with me. But there's a little bit of the old where's the liquid, you know, behind the newspaper, and there's a certain amount of shouting out where's the liquid from the kitchen goes on. So, I think, you know, it's a good partnership. They kind of balance each other out. And that really, as far as I'm concerned, I've not been quite insulted enough to John so far, but somebody else can do that for me later on. But that for me is the story up to date, except that as well as meeting Craig, over the last couple of months, but really starting last year when Joanne got married, that we've had a lot to do with Jeff and with Julie and the rest of Craig's family, and that's been great. A whole new kind of set of people for us all to get to know, and for them to get to know us, and just all very happy and all going extremely well. And so I think I'll offer a toast, and the toast is, where's the liquid?
Again. Right. This speech is not funny. Think of it like an award ceremony, acceptance speech, the longest one you've ever heard. Times it by 10, I'm going to be about a third of the way through. Yes, firstly, I'd like to thank Di, that brilliant speech. And for organising the lovely food that we all just had. And I'd also like to thank Gina for preparing it. Right, next up we've got the bridesmaids. Well, it's on the list in that way. Obviously well prepared. This is going as well as the... Oh, is it rubbed off? There we go. Sally. Just entertain yourselves. This is going to be he's not a bridesmaid. I know he's in a dress. Sarah? deserve one, ladies. Can you read out what that says, please?
What this says? Oh God. Oh, electric umbrella. Oh no! Do I need to explain it?
No, I think we'll leave it at that. I thought that one. Tony Harrison. Her name is Tony Harrison. Thank you, Liz.
How do you know? She's a good bod.
Claire.
Oh, yeah.
Can anybody please put their hand up if they haven't had a gift? I think that's it. We'd also like to thank the bridesmaids for craft days, of which there have been 2, I believe. We've gone through 4 sewing machines. I think that's just my mum sewing them. Lovely. Oh yes, and the stag do. Not my stag do, her stag do. Where they all... I won't go into too much detail. Yes, it was. It was much wilder. Yes, they all dressed up as pirates and went on a boat in Cardiff, which I'm sure was very exciting. Next we'd like to thank Brian, who did our ceremony.
Hey, well done, Brian.
Yes, well done.
And for all your help in preparing it. It was... Hello, sorry. Yeah, it was very... we had lots of input in it, and yeah, I think you did a brilliant job. Thank you very much.
Hey.
Spectral thing. Nick, try round. Oh, now that is hurtful. Well done.
Where is he?
Or even rearrange ya.
Brothers changing in the world next year. Modifications must be going wrong. Education, this is a paper. Just because you're better lazy doesn't mean you're lazy. Just because you're better lazy doesn't mean. What about the coconuts? Just because you're dicey doesn't mean you're rising. Just because you're getting married doesn't mean. The ghost that you're before. Oh no, but I come to sit in the middle of the green. Oh, you keep
Singing, that one.
just because you're better racing doesn't mean you're racing. Just because you're getting married doesn't mean you're playing that truth. was scrapping. The school is at a bigger. Singing the fire without fire. Just a gun, just a gun, you're getting married. Doesn't mean you can't bring back Simon. Shoot solo! Shoot! Bring back Simon!
Playing on the drums.
Come on. John.
Who's on the drums?
John.
Oh,
Let's
John's
have
on
John.
bass.
John's on bass. Next bass too.
Who's on the drums?
Sean.
Sean, alright.
I can't believe it.
You're terrible.
Just need a microphone.
He's trying it on.
Off your leave hair. I'll never make it alone. Hear me when I tell you, I'll never make it alone. When you told me, give me more.
build up.
Does it?
Tom's singing.
Oh, great. People dancing.
I can just keep a rhythm up. It might be handy from dancing. If I could just keep a rhythm up, it might be handy from dancing.
Too bad.
Tom looks like she's become comatose. Tom.
Tired. They haven't enough
No, not mad, Tom. Making a tune of any.
Sure, do you do the close up there?
Others on the way. I have kissed the ladies and left them crying. Stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've traveled hard with conscience flying. Somewhere in the wind. Oh, but let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, they call me, and now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than the sound. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
that works quite well as a film because at least you can see the drama of it. Wow. It's soaking now. Extraordinary. It's the best one.
There's one really like daylight just there. That's very close. Did you see that?
Yes.
You read descriptions of tropical storms.
It's not picking up all of it because.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah. It did. I think I got that. It actually records it really well when it gets it. Wow, what happened over there?
It's just like in the burying, it's everywhere.